Hello, my name is Grant Hudson, and today we are going to be discussing alternate picking. All the ins and outs of getting good at using the pick in your right hand and getting the most traction out of that. Because picking is the motion that we do with a pick. We have a pick here, and we tend to just, at the beginning, play downstrokes. So we pick downwards with the pick. But what we're losing is the motion it takes to get back up to that going down position. So if I play downwards on, let's say, the thickest string, in order to play down on that string again, I have to come back up. You see this motion? So to maximize the energy we're going to use to play on the guitar, I want you to pick on that way back up. That's what's called alternate picking, where we're doing a downward stroke followed by an upstroke, and it allows us play these very fast passages without having to think too hard about where am I playing it, what string is where. You just kind of have this down and up motor going on in our right hand. So let's talk a little bit about the mechanics of doing this. With picking, the ideal situation is to have your hand kind of nice and loose, doing a lot of the curve in the wrist. So you might see some people doing strumming like this. That's not very good. I call that the windshield wiper. It's a little too much movement. And you don't want to be doing too much in the thumb itself. So doing this kind of like picking like that, that'll tire out your thumb. What you want to do is have this nice loose wrist that you're not going to be moving that much. Like you're not going to be doing it this much, but just a small movement here and there. And we are going to be playing a downward stroke, upward stroke, downward stroke, upward stroke by the turn of the wrist. Kind of like you're turning the key, right? Turning a key in a door. If you feel like you're doing this, where you're kind of like super tight, super strict right here, and you're kind of doing it like this, that's, again, not a good technique. That'll tire you out after a while. So for now, just to warm up to doing alternate picking, let's do this. Down and up, super loose, not really paying attention to it. Just a down and up, back and forth motion. Super loose, with a little bit of movement from the arm, but not much. All right, so that's the motion that we're looking for, but we're going to be doing it on one string at a time. So let's do this on the skinniest string first, skinniest towards the bottom. And what we're going to do is we're just going to play 4 notes, a down, an up, a down, and an up. Okay, let's go ahead and play that together. I'll count us in 1, 2, 3, 4. On each of those numbers, we're going to go down, and up. Now be careful here not to pick any of the other strings. The real motion here is to do this kind of downward and outward, downward and outward. That's why we do the curve of the wrist as opposed to the other one, because that's going to pick into the other string itself. So you want to have this kind of slow moving kind of back and forth pendulum down there. So let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, up. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, up. All right. Let's try and do that a little more consistently. Let's do it for 4 measures. So that means 16 times. But, we'll count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. And I'll give you a little bit of an exercise you can do just to get yourself more and more used to doing this picking across different string sets. Before we do that, we need to be able to master it on one string. So let's try and do that. We'll count in 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to glide on that for 16 counts total. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, up. Again, down, up, down, up. Again, down, up, down, up. Again, down, up, down, up. All right. And you should be hearing all those notes ringing out the whole time. No stop in between. So try and let those ring out the whole way, get out of the way of the string, and hear that ring. Now, I like that as an exercise on its own. So if you're just starting out with this alternate picking and you want to get much better at it, that'd be a good place to start. Just turn on a metronome and start doing that down, up, along with the click. And as you get comfortable there, speed up that metronome just a tad. Just keep going up like a ladder, up a couple beats per minute. I like doing 10 beats per minute at a time. And slowly get to the point where you're able to do this a little bit quicker. We're looking to get speed on this, but not right away. I want you to get consistency first. Consistency is always more key when learning music because the speed comes from being super consistent and being able to move that as a whole forward. So the actual exercise that I want you to try and do with alternate picking to start out is that, but adding in the other strings as well. So let's do 8 counts of each. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do it on each string 8 times, starting from the bottom, going all the way up. Okay? We're going to go with our slower pace so we can get, again, consistency. So let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is. Down, up, down, up. Again. All right, now we're going on the B string. Here we go. Down, up, down, up. All right, going on to G. Here it is. All right, doing great. All right, now going on to D. Here it is. And really look, I'm not looking, but look at the instrument while you're doing this. And here comes A, and down, up. Get to the point where your hand knows where to go, but that's usually with our eyes first. And thickest E string. All right. So that's a great exercise. And again, set that on a metronome, nice and evenly pulsed, and then slightly speed it up. And start working all the way through this to where you're able to play it at a faster speed. Then we can start adding actual maybe scales or riffs that you know or whatever it may be. I like to add scales next. So doing like our E minor pentatonic. An easy scale, but now let's say 4 notes of each note of the scale. Then I would do that same thing, but less notes, maybe 2 notes per note. Then I would try and do it alternate picking all the way through it, no repeats. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Which is how you're going to be playing it in the future. All those different types of little are going to come from an alternate pick. Because look at it this way, just if I haven't sold you on alternate picking yet. If I played a lick like this, and I did that with all downstroke, I don't know if you can see how much more tense my hand is, but I'm using so much more energy because I'm going down, I'm going twice as fast actually. So it's a lot more energy used. It may seem harder right now to do an upstroke. It's a very unnatural position to be doing that kind of upward movement. But it's totally worth learning. And if you really feel like that upstroke is like really feeling weird, just do some upstrokes. Same exercise we did before, 8 strokes, but just up. That'll make them feel a lot more natural. It's just a movement that we don't use in life a lot. We do the over arc with our wrist, but the under arc is not as popular. We don't do that in just normal life that much. So that's all I have for you today. To learn more about alternate picking, be sure to hop into a live class, and we'll see you next time.